Welcome to DES Premier Talladega Speedway Week 13. Once again, we have another producer. This is Jeff Dinda broadcasting from Colorado till Damon gets his internet fixed out. We're going to have a fun race here for you. We have some previews up of these guys running their pace laps and whatever else we have going on. And we're just doing a little system test, and we'll be with you shortly. Welcome back, race fans. We've got everything up and running. Thank you for those of you tuning in to our Week 13 Premier Trucks at Talladega Speedway. Should be a pretty fun and exciting race. As the pace cars coming in, we are going to go green here, ladies and gentlemen. And again, apologize for little technical difficulties, but should be a lot smoother than it was the last time I tried this. And we are getting ready to go, and this is going to be pretty exciting here. Um, They're going green. Sorry about not giving you a lineup. Couldn't get it all completely ready to go, but we're looking at Hunter Davis in the lead. David White. Haven't seen David in a little while. Welcome back to the track, Mr. White. And unfortunately I'm going to be broadcasting here solo and streaming this from my feed. So we're going to have to kind of pay attention to a little bit of everything. We might take some extra breaks to speak with our producer to kind of fine tune some things and get you guys the best broadcast we possibly can for tonight's race. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. If any of you see any issues with the broadcast, I know a couple of you are watching, just let us know. That way we can fine tune some things some more. These guys are they're pretty settled in at outside lines. Trying to get a run with Ben Kuhn in the front and the two machine Tanner Honeycutt just behind him. But so far it looks like that inside line's carrying momentum. They got a little better grouping there, a little closer together, so they're definitely taking advantage of this draft. And these guys are pretty calm drivers. I know you've heard the broadcast before. These are the best of DS. We don't make as many mistakes, but still, it's a super speedway. Anything can happen, and we will surely catch you up if we see any odd incidents or any frantic moves by some of these drivers. Just going to pause my voice again here for a couple seconds so I can talk with our normal producer just to make sure everything's running fine from his end, and we'll catch you guys here in a couple seconds. And certainly, if anything happens, we will jump back in live. Our first stage break of the night will be coming up at lap 15, and the second one will be at lap 30. So here in a couple of laps, it'll take a couple of minutes, or 35, excuse me, 15 and 35. But these guys, they're about a minute a lap or a little bit under. So it'll take a couple of minutes to get around to our stage break, at which point we'll take a little bit of a break, but we will not go away from the action. We won't have our fun commercials tonight because I'm broadcasting and I don't have them. Or streaming, whatever we call it these days. But thank you for those of you tuning in. Again, if you have any questions, comments, you got a favorite driver you're rooting for, post a comment and chat, and we'll talk about them a little bit. after our first stage break. We'll let these guys settle in a little bit. They're doing a great job of that. We'll talk about points a little bit because these guys have this race. Not next week. We're taking 2 weeks off for the holiday break. We'll have our final race after the holidays, and these guys will be locked into the playoffs at that point. So we'll talk about points here in a little bit. Just watching these guys are clean. It looks like we had John Crosby trying to make a move to the inside. Yeah, Max moves up to block him. John's going to try it again, jump out in front of Ben. See if they can make that outside line. Oh, John's going to get stuck in the middle. He may fall back a few positions with that failed attempt to jump out there. Or maybe that was Thomas Long, sorry. Nope, 73 machine. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. I mean, the guys on the inside, I don't know if they're doing a little better job with their drafting, or if that inside line tonight is just carrying better speed through these corners. It's the shortest way around the track. They have a new aero package out for these trucks, and I know some of the guys we had a speedway in our regular trucks and race, and they were talking about just how much slower it feels to them. So, I think they're figuring out just what this new update with iRacing has done, and they're trying to figure out the fastest way around the track. And we may see a little more excitement later on, but for right now, these guys are settled in, and we're going to talk a second. Jamie Howe, I believe this was week 2 in a row. I know Jamie has earned with that 001 car an entry in tonight's race by finishing second in the previous our legacy truck race. So congratulations, Jamie. Earning your way in tonight to race with these guys, and it's good to see him back in the league. Good to hear him broadcasting, and a lot of fun to watch him race. Again, we're going to have a stage break here at 15. When we do, we'll switch the camera to watch these guys come into pit road. We'll take a little bit of a break during that stage break. We'll have a couple of minutes there. Everybody wants to grab some popcorn or refreshments. Feel free while they're coming in and getting tires and fuel. We're going to pause again real quick and be back for the end of the stage. Here we go. Oh, we got a spin. Caution is out. Ooh, this is also going to be our stage break. 63 car. Boy, he was sideways up in the air. Almost got completely airborne. But we're gonna take a look at the replay here of the 63 just to see what happened. Here we go. 73 car. John Crosby behind him. This should be it. Oh, he gets just out of line a little bit and tries to cut back up right in front of John, and John probably didn't lift there, wasn't quite expecting that move. We're gonna pick up one more feed of this here real quick. We got some time. We will be going to sorry, let's go to Chase. Here we go. Mr. Noel gets a little low. Crosby, just a little light tap. Almost made it airborne. Gosh, these guys don't get fast repairs. Doesn't look like a whole lot of damage there. Hopefully he kept his truck clean and will be able to maintain his pace here once these guys come in. And we are going to pull up the leaders. We're going to go on mute. This is our stage break. We'll be back to green in a couple of minutes, and we're going to give a pause and let you guys get some popcorn.
Oh, I'm not bringing it.
We're live.
I just get, I give Edwin crap all the time, and look what I just did. My goodness.
They can hear us.
Man, Jeff, thank you for helping out when my internet's down, and I got new internet coming tomorrow morning. And man, you are doing a great job.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. We try. We don't have the experience you do, so it's not the same quality that we're used to here at DES. But myself, I know Ben did the last broadcast. Jonathan Medlin did Friday. It's great as we're coming around turn 3 to turn 4. Getting ready for this pace car to come off shortly and watch these guys go race again. What do you? I'm going to ask you the question. What do you think so far, Damon?
This has been a nice, clean, exciting race. I've been haven't been able to watch as much as I want because I've been tying up things on the other side here. But
yeah, lap 17. The pace car is coming in. We're getting ready to go green as these guys. I changed my camera feed. Not that you guys need to hear me say that, but I like talking to myself. Damon, we had that one caution right there at the stage break. It's always tough with these guys whether or not we're going to have cautions or not. This is a fun track.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag is out, and we are going racing. I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of these guys dropped to the back. What do you think? Should we talk about points a little bit?
Yeah. I know you have a graphic to play, but yeah, man, you were right though. That whole stretch, man, there was some times where I was shocked there was no caution. But these are the best of the best. They're the best of what we got, and they keep it on the road.
Okay, I'm gonna mute us.
I think we're gonna have some big green flag runs.
Mute us just for a second. We are back, and I'm waiting to see if it loads. I can see it on my screen, but not on YouTube yet. I know we got a little bit of a delay. Hasn't come up yet, their normal producer. I switched to broadcast standings.
And you see image inside of the source?
I'm going to mute us just there for a second. Okay, we got that figured out. Damon is here with me. We got some points up on our screen. And just to give you guys a little explanation, if something happens, we'll get this out of your way. As you can see, John Crosby's leading our top 8 for the playoffs. You know, there are currently, through Max Dinda, those 5 cars are locked into the playoffs just based on available points. What is really interesting is Mark Holliday, Chuck Burley, Todd Perrott, they still have a lead above the cut line, 34, 35, 37. Jonathan Geist is currently 34 points below the cut line. And so, basically for the guys below the cut line, they need maximum points, right? They need stage points. They need strong finishes if they're going to have any shot in that last week to make their way up. And Damon, what do you think about this playoff hunt? Yeah, and we got teams on there, so you guys can see, what teams are being represented in our league. Probability, it's kind of a made-up number, but still, it's just, kind of given the odds of who can potentially make it. We do this for all of our divisions. The left-hand side is color-coded their names. That's just representing, for example, John Crosby, Ben Kuhn, they've made every single race, right? So they're green across the board. Guys with yellow, they've missed two races. We have 2 drop races, so they're still fine. So there's different color codes, but you can see the color coding. The guys who have missed a lot of races, where are they in the point standings? They're currently out of it. For the most part, and so, showing up the race, having strong finishes in all factors in. Watching these guys, we're 10 to go to our second stage break. We just mentioned points. These guys, more specifically, Jonathan Geist, right? He's in that position where he needs to maximize everything. He can tonight. He can't drop to the back and play it safe. Some of the other guys can. What do you think of the race so far there, Damon? Yeah, and it's just. Oh, got a little bit of feedback there. It's interesting because these guys will probably have some comments after the race about this new aero package with these trucks. Just to see if they may have experienced or noticed some differences with this latest update. And we are still green. Hunter Davis leading Max Dinda. Jonathan Geist, we just talked about him, points in 3rd place. Todd Perrott has not sealed the deal yet with points, but with a strong finish tonight, he's looking to do that. I mean, what's interesting with our divisions that have stage breaks and the points associated with it, there are a lot of points on the table for these races, right? And so, even though Jonathan Geist is 34 points below the cut line, a maximum finish here. Forgot who qualified first. I believe it was Hunter. There's 3 bonus points for qualifying first. There's 40 points for first place, and there's 20 additional points in the stages available, as a maximum per se. And so we're kind of keeping our eye on Jonathan. I know we talked about him in several of our broadcasts. He's kind of in the position here to really push and try to get as many points as possible. And we're going to take a quick pause here on our audio portion. We will let you guys watch the video. Again, stage break at 35, and we will definitely see you guys a couple of laps before the stage ends, because that's when these guys are going to push it. We're back live. Man, that outside line, 73 was just pushing the 35, and they made a great move. And of course, Max, like he usually does, tries to jump out in front of them to maintain that position. Again, great job on the outside, kind of getting together there. And Crosby was really giving a good push to Judson Curtis. We'll see if these guys, a lot of times these guys, they'll clear the inside, they'll drop down. Kind of leave the other guys who are pushing out to hang. But right now they're staying with it. But here we see him pull down. Now Crosby's got to find a dance partner here. We'll move back here just a little bit so you guys can see just how much that kind of left them out hanging. They had some really good momentum there, and Judson's he's making a push. We're one lap to our stage break here, and Judson Curtis is currently 58 points out of the chase window, so he's looking for 10 points here.
Oh, accident.
Oh, what do we? Don't have a caution.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Caution is out. You got lucky and picked up the car there. We're gonna rewind it and just take a quick peek. Sorry we missed that on the live feed. We were watching those guys up front. Let's take a look at what happened here. Oh, it looks like, hang on just a second. It looks like Brandon kind of danced out the apron. The two cars are right behind him. So that may have made the 23 check up. I'm going to let you guys watch it. And then he gets tagged from behind by 56, Mark Holloway. So we're going to rewind that again. Take just another quick peek. Again, always looking for the best angles to kind of show you guys what's happening here. Yeah, I believe the 5 gets on the apron. Just checks up a little bit. Yep. Just kind of a cording effect. Oh, 23 and the 56 definitely got some damage. Both of them there. Let's see if Thomas is... He may have... There we go. Yeah, you can see that whole right fender's missing on the 23 car. 56 picked up some pretty good damage as well. You can see it there. Just see if we can...
That was some amazing pushing that they had up there. What was that? What, the 73? And who was that there? Man, that was some pushing.
Yeah, it certainly was. And yeah, there's a little bit of the damage. I hope I'm not giving these guys any advantage if they're watching the broadcast to see their damage. But, at this point, it is what it is. Yeah, you can see the whole front fender's missing there. We're just going to go back to another angle. This will be our stage break at lap 35, and Judson Curtis came away with 10 points on that. Congrats to him. I mean, like I said, he's 58 points out, so there's plus 10. The guys he's battling with, Todd Pratt, Chuck Burley. Todd picked up some points there. I guess Mr. Burley's not racing tonight, so that's going to help somebody. Okay, we're going to take a brief pause here. We're going to let you guys watch the audio, and we're going to, or the video, and we're just going to pause the audio. All right, we're exiting turn 4. The pace car will come out here shortly. Um, both of our cautions so far have come out right at the end of the stage break. So I'm going to give a little prediction. At the end of the race, we may see some more cautions. If not between, now and then, I wouldn't be shocked if we see some more cautions right at the end of the race. What do you think, Damon? I might have lost
Green
Damon.
Sorry, you
flag,
got me.
green flag.
No, you got
Yeah.
me making notes. I was putting
Okay.
in notes there that both of our. I was putting exactly. We have a note, a ticket that we have that we keep track in the race committee, and I was writing that both of our cautions are just before.
Just
We have
before
to
the
make
stage
sure we
break.
keep track and make sure that we count those stages correctly when we do our race committee meeting. And there's a lot that goes in to make sure the right people get those points, because those are a lot of points, man. And you got to get that stuff right. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Just talking about the points here for a second. Mark Holloway was involved in that last incident. Thomas Long. We saw before we went to our quick break there that both of them had significant damage. We're seeing them a lap or multiple laps down, and fortunately for Mark, he's 37 points above the cut line. Again, we have this race, we have next week, but he's not gonna pick up any stage points there. He's probably gonna finish towards the back. Um, Thomas Long, he was second or 10th, so below the cut line. It's going to hurt him. And something else to point out: Chuck Burley's not in our race tonight. Chuck was 35 points. He was in 7th place. So we're going to have a pretty good mix-up here after this race, depending on who finishes where, how we tabulate the stage points, and depending on what happens from now until the end of the race. We're almost at the halfway point. And what's interesting is we got a little bit of a role reversal here. We have the 35 or the 69 now behind the 73, but the 73 really was the car that got that outside line moving just before the stage break. So it's going to be interesting to see if they make that move a little earlier. Now that they we see they can make it work. What they can do with this. And Judson Curtis currently leading. He's 58 points below the cut line. So, pretty low probability to make it. But like I said, Chuck Burley being out of the races has given these guys a great opportunity to kind of to inch their way up into the top 8. Top 5, we showed it earlier, Crosby, Davis, Kuhn, Hinton, Dinda. They're all locked in. The next 3, Holloway, Burley, Podmont, they are not. Even though they are above the cut line. And then, Jonathan Geis, Thomas Long, who just mentioned involved in an incident, Judson Curtis, who's currently leading. They're the 3 below who had the best shot at trying to claw their way in. I am going to give a brief pause on our audio here. We're going to keep the feed rolling and have our finger on the trigger if anything should happen. All right, welcome back live to the audio portion of this broadcast. These guys are getting settled in. We're still watching that second line. They just can't seem to get it together. A couple updates. Mark Holloway appears to be off track. Thomas Long as well. We saw that incident. Stage break seems to be there out of it. You still have 14 cars racing on track, which is a pretty good turnout. We have a couple guys back who have been missing in action for a while. I know one had a wheel issue. He finally resolved. The other one's been busy doing some other things. So these super speedways seem to draw come out and race again. All right, Damon, you normally get to do what I'm doing in my chair, and I normally get to do what you're doing without the race control portion. I know you're watching that a lot. What do you think so far, and how exciting do you think the finish is going to be?
I'm looking forward. I mean, I think the finish is going to be exciting. I think we're going to have a big green flag run right to the end. I want to see. Will we have to pit if we don't have yellow?
Gosh, what were we? 35? Yeah, they will probably need to pit.
Definitely will.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I want to see.
We showed that earlier. Maybe I'll just bring it up again real quick. Standings. You can see the color coding, the names on the right. A couple of these guys are teammates. Wouldn't be shocked if these guys, multiple guys cross teams or in chats together where they, they're going to try to come in and pit together. Would be my guess. And so, you don't want to come out on this track all alone. So we can see there's a couple of Radfink. We got a couple of TRN guys. Two Hinton Motorsports. But, my guess is a couple of these guys are going across channels, communicating on our Discord server. And hey, let's all pit on lap 60, whatever that number may be. And we'll probably see them all come in together. Try to make that outside. Yeah, go ahead.
There's definitely. I was just going to say there's definitely no outside line right now.
Yeah, I mean a couple of guys jumped out there, but two cars won't cut it. You can kind of hold position there for a little bit. You'll get pulled back unless somebody else decides to jump out there with them. That's Judson. He and Max are kind of nose to nose for that lead position. Of course, none of it matters until they cross the start-finish line for the final time. But I'm actually shocked the outside line is holding up so well.
I am too. I mean, they are right out there with the leaders.
Yeah. Now we're going to get a little help. Well, not quite yet. But it just seems like no one on an inside line wants to jump out there with them, right? I mean, it's tough because you see it time and time again. You'll get 3 or 4 cars out there in the pack. They'll get nose to tail, get a really good push, really good run on the outside, and then the guy in front, the top 2 guys in front, will jump down in front of the inside line, and then it leaves the next 2 guys out hanging by themselves. You see Judson just did it right there. Now the 60's out there all by himself, and he's like, well, now what do I do? I just helped you get up there. And he found a spot, so probably the 73 called out to him. I'll leave an opening for you. John Crosby's a really nice guy in this one, so he probably lifted, let him, called out, and probably said, jump on in. But you see that time and time again in restrictor plate racing. Outside line gets a run. Like I said, either the first guy or the second guy, they'll jump down in front of the inside line, and then the guys who help them get there are kind of left out hanging all by themselves. But, pretty good clean racing. I mean, both incidents we saw were pretty minor in the contact. I mean, I know the last one, the guys are out with damage, but, it's possible. I'm just going to switch speed real quick to see if Mark or Thomas, they have not come back out on track. So just wanted to check there. I can switch to camera feed. Lap 52 of 80, Judson Curtis. Currently leading the way. I know he picked up 10 stage points, I believe, on that last one. I know he's hungry to get as many points as he possibly can. Maybe it was Jonathan. Gosh, I get confused. I'm looking at the guys below the cut line. I know they both need some major points. Unfortunately for Thomas Long, he will not be able to pick those up tonight, but the other 2 guys below the cut line, Essentially, Chuck Burley missing the race tonight has opened up the possibility for one of these guys to not only pull even with Chuck Burley, but possibly pass him depending on stage points. We will work on figuring those out. Preliminary for the guys either tonight or tomorrow, and race committee will Sunday night, Monday night have the official standings out.
They're single file and spreading out a little bit.
Yeah, which is always impressive to say in super speedways. Not the single file portion, but just the, getting spread out. You lose that draft, it's tough to make it up. Coming up to lap 54 here as we go through the tri-oval. Judson Curtis leading the way, Max Stinda, Brian Sousa, John Crosby, Ben Kuhn, Hunter Davis, Jonathan Geist, David White, Tanner Honeycutt, and our golden ticket winner, Jamie Howe, currently in 10th. We have 3 additional cars on the lead lap. Todd Pratt, Brandon Hinton, Sean Dion. I'm just going to check on Mr. Knoll here real quick. It appears Craig is also off track. Sorry for that switcheroo. Oh, switched me to scenic there. Sorry about that. But yeah, Craig Knoll is currently off track as well. And I do see a note here in my session events, Craig Knoll pit stop on lap 52. We'll just watch our tracker here to see if he called it a night or, yeah, he's currently gone 2 laps down. It's hard to say. Sometimes guys have technical difficulties, maybe something else going on that they had to attend to, so occasionally we'll see a guy drop out of the race, reasons unknown.
Yeah, single file. We just might see that big long green flag run.
Yeah.
Some pit stops at this rate.
As we say that, I'm watching Max, his bumper right up against Judson, getting a great push, but sometimes that also leads to just little blips that can get a guy sideways, but he's pushing him for all he's got right now. It's interesting because you see some of the other cars. I mean, I know we're a little, camera feed doesn't poke, but I mean, they've all got little gaps, right? Half a car length, quarter of a car length in between them. But Max he essentially had his bumper lap there for almost a full lap. And I do apologize to the guys racing tonight. I know this has happened to a couple other guys. Since that last update, my trading paints has done nothing in terms of updating. I know a couple of these guys, I asked them, they're definitely running different paint schemes than what we're seeing. Although I know Judson, he loves to run that Whataburger car, and that could be his official paint for the night. But sorry, guys, for anybody who watches the replay. I'm probably missing your most current and updated paint, but it is what it is.
I'd like to know how many more laps they got before they're going to start pitting.
Yeah, unfortunately, I normally will do a practice lap just to kind of record the laps needed. I probably have it in my spreadsheet here. I could probably take a quick look at Talladega because we just ran this. So yeah, default laps are about 50, 51. So if you're leading, it's gonna be a little under that. If you're back in a draft, you get a little more than that. So what were we, 35? Yeah, so they can definitely make it to the end on that tank of gas. So tires they really won't need. So I didn't test it tonight, but I know in our legacy trucks we just raced Talladega last week, and the default laps at 80% was 50.7. So I guess I should have checked that earlier. And just had an update from Heiser Racing. Um, I believe that was Craig. Said sleepy time for Craig. So that explains, sometimes it gets a little late, and these guys, they might need to check out. Maybe he's got something important in the morning and just had to hit the hay. Yeah, just going to our blimp view. I mean, you can see, as Damon mentioned, we're just single file and we're just all spread out. Um, Barely safe driving right now, but it's going to be really fun to see what happens on those last 5 laps. Maybe not even the last 5, maybe just the last 2.
You can.
Sounds like a couple of these guys may be pitting here shortly. I think the 35 just called out. He mentioned that. We're going to keep our eyes on this to see how these guys come back out. Um, it's hard here because you have one little slip in the pits, maybe a little slow coming in, or maybe you lock your tires up. If you miss the field coming out, you're stuck because if you don't have a draft partner, you will not keep up with this pack. And so here we can see them all coming down. We're going to switch our channel 2. Oh, I saw Ben Kuhn just get a little sideways. Oh, we just backed us up for a second. Yeah, Ben's coming in hot, locks it up. Looks like he saves it. We'll keep an eye on our, make sure none of these guys got a penalty. There we go. Judson is first out of the pits, and let's just see. He may have only taken gas. What do you think, Damon? Can you see that on your information? I'm just looking to see.
No, unfortunately, it doesn't tell me that.
Okay.
It just shows me when he pit.
I mean, technically, you only need gas here, right? And so they're all going to get caught up.
But if you go to your control panel and scroll to the right a little bit and hit pit stops, there's something that says pit stops. So you go to the control panel, like the overlay.
There we go. We found the information we needed. I believe Judson Curtis took right sides only to try to maintain that lead. Everyone else probably took 4 tires. 3 seconds, 4 seconds. That's the difference between 4 tires and just right sides. I mean, they all needed to fill up with gas. So tires don't matter that much. So we'll see how this plays out. Damon was the one who he could hear him talking on the track mic, calling those pit stops out before. I got a little distracted there looking for that information to race off a pit road. Forgot they were green flag stops and not yellow flags, so obviously these guys have gone back to racing here pretty quick. And I think, not quite yet, Damon, but, we'll pull that track map back up. It should be up. You can see there's kind of 2 different groups, right? There's that first group of, 4, 8, and then we got a smaller group behind. These guys up front running double file, it's not really going to slow them down enough for that pack behind them to catch up. But if those guys get organized really well, and I can just see from the feed they weren't. They can catch them if they got single file and really started pushing. They probably have a chance to catch them. But if they say we're just going to switch the camera back to Todd Perrant, you can kind of see. Oh, they're getting a little better. But those first 2 cars right there, I mean, they all 5 need to be like that. They all need to be bumper to bumper to catch that front pack, because it's a 3-second, 2.5-second gap from the front pack back to the other.
Yeah, and they're not doing it. They need to get in line.
Yeah, and this is Jamie's back there, Todd Perrant, Brandon Hinton. I mean, you got a couple of teammates, a couple of guys. One guy got the lucky ticket. They really need to get single file if they want to catch Ben and the group up front, and we'll just. They're getting there. They're probably communicating with each other, like, "Hey guys, single file, let's push." We'll switch to the front. For the most part, they were double wide before we switched to the back. Now they're single file. We got one stranded outside, but you can kind of just visually see, not only with the track map, the distance, but just with the camera angles that they've kind of fallen out of that feed. I mean, the interesting thing, and I know you've seen this a million times, Damon, with these restrictor plate races, is you can just kind of be happy, stay in the pack, kind of ride around, count your laps, not get any incidents. And then with 2 to go, 3 to go, 1 to go, all heck breaks loose, and these guys all not only they're not realizing it's time to go, but it's it's time to push it. And that's usually when things get pretty interesting.
That's a trait of super speedways, isn't it?
Yeah, they can be boring. You can almost fall asleep watching them. Sometimes I do that on Sundays. Wake up and catch the last 15 laps and catch it on Sunday. And Ben is currently in the lead. Ben broadcast our last race. Obviously, he could not broadcast this race, but Ben is very comfortably locked in to the playoffs. He's currently in 3rd position. David White has missed a few races, so he's not in the hunt, but Hunter Davis is also locked in. Jonathan, we mentioned before, is currently in 9th place, 34 points down, so he's trying to get up there. Max is safe. Judson needs some points. Mr. Sousa is pretty far behind, and this race may, depending on how the stage points play out, may put him out of the playoff picture. We only have one more race to go, so this is our second to last race. But yeah, these guys are they're gonna make it pretty exciting, and just looking, Crosby's 7/8 tenths back from the leader, and that second pack now is 4.5 seconds. So they're dropping. They're dropping quite a bit here. Again, if if you're back there and you're playing it safe and there's an incident up front, that pack is fine. You got plenty of time to slow down. So it could be a strategy. It could just have been as they came out of pits. That's just how it formed up.
We do have our next gen race tomorrow night, but then we have our 2 weeks off for Christmas and New Year's. So yeah, we have some time off. We're gonna do some exhibition races. We're gonna play with that little build kart cart. Have you driven that thing yet?
Not yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
It looks fun. I can't wait for the time off. I got 2 weeks vacation coming up. Excited.
Yeah, it's I always look forward to those I won't even try to say it right now. I'm getting tired too. Unfortunately, Craig, I can't go sleepy time just yet, but I always look forward to those races because they're fun. We get some extra fast repairs, and there's no pressure of playoffs or points or standings. Let's go out and have fun. A lot of times we do something new, something unique. Even race in the dark once in a while. You never know. But boy, these guys are starting to get racy. You would think it's a little early, but some of them have decided to form that second line, and let's give it a go. Now, you mentioned tomorrow night's race, next gen. Ooh, 32 gets out of line just a little bit, Jonathan, guys. Tomorrow night we're at Michigan. We're always picking up new drivers every week, and I do believe we may have another Hinton in the race tomorrow night, which would be pretty exciting if that happens. I hope so. Looking forward to it. Always looking forward to the new guys we get in the race. Some new teams this year, some new racers that we didn't have last year who are, I won't call them good racers. They're phenomenal racers, and it's exciting. They have that infusion of new great drivers. We have a lot of great drivers, legacy, that have been in the league for a while, and we're watching quite a few of them up front right now. But it's great to see the new guys come in the league. I know if these guys stick around, there could be at least 5 or 10 guys in the Premier League next year, just based on the quality of some of the racing I'm watching from them.
Michigan should be exciting, and it should be an exciting race to watch.
Oh, and as you just said, that Hunter got a little sideways, got out of line, but managed to save it. He's still kind of hung out to dry out there. He's just looking to get behind Max if he can here quickly, but I'm sure that a little sideways action probably made his heart rate jump just a little bit.
I'm looking forward to our last race before the off week tomorrow. I should have fiber coming in the morning, so I should be back behind the steering wheel. Well, the broadcasting steering wheel anyway. And I look forward to having some fast internet.
Those of us who've been trying to fill in can't wait for you to get it hooked up and running again. Not that this is impossible, but it takes a little bit to learn, and we always have some issues and glitches along the ways. There, Ben gets pushed up and out of the way.
My good.
Yeah, and it just happened to Hunter, right? Hunter got shuffled back. Ben kind of finds himself in that same position. He's probably gonna have to tuck in behind, Hunter here. Regroup, catch your breath. If you have a Gatorade, grab a drink. But boy, these guys they're getting racy a little early, and that second pack is still 4 seconds behind Ben, who's now currently in the back of this lead pack. They're still 4 seconds back, so they, unless we have a caution, I don't want to say it's impossible, but they didn't get formed up well enough, I think, or maybe it was just strategy to play it safe and stay back there. And 32 touches the wall, comes out of Justin Curtis. Oh, this is fun. This is the part of the race that gets exciting, right? When these guys start making moves. Sometimes they get a little loose, sometimes they get shoved a little hard. Max, finds himself way out front. He's got to be cautious with that because sometimes you get too far out front and they'll just blow by you. But you can see that second pack in the background. Still, well, they're making a little bit of hay. Maybe they've gotten organized. I hate to take my eyes off this front pack because they're getting racy right now. And there's some moves being made. Yeah, I'm just gonna we're gonna check out these guys in the back here real quick. We will try not to miss anything. Just jump it back. I mean, they're single file, check, but I don't see them bumper to bumper. The front three are doing a pretty good job. I mean, they really need to be tight, to catch these guys. And they're, like I said, making a little bit of progress, but not great. As these front guys, I think we're getting a little sideways and squirrely. That back group, that backpack, made a little ground, but nothing phenomenal just yet. But boy, these guys are getting racy a little early. But it's hard to say whether it's 1 lap to go or 10 laps to go. At what point you start running hard? And that front three is breaking out. Probably when I switched to the back feed, this front group had a little more loose action, and they're not quite split up yet. They still have enough of the gap to catch up, but something might have happened there we missed.
Am I muted?
Getting pretty exciting up front. That backpack is 5 seconds back from this lead group, and these guys are getting racy up front. We're 4 laps to go. We're going to be 3 laps to go when we cross this line. And if you have to be out front in this race, and there are 2 guys who are currently doing it, Judson Curtis, Jonathan Geist, they have to be out front, and they are currently out front. And my guess is they will do everything possible to maintain that. They are both pretty close in the standings, but these guys, they need everything they can get. I mean, Jonathan Geist has a pretty good advantage. Go ahead.
Oh, I just saw your son come up on him.
Oh, they're wrecking. They're wrecking.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
I was just about to say, I think we're about to see a caution.
Sorry, I am talking to myself with a mic on. I know you guys hate that. Here's where it happened. Oh, I don't know if that was netcode or if he really just got into the side of him. Let me switch. Here we go. That could have been a little combination of netcode and possibly arrow. I mean, definitely the 35 and the 32 get together. 32 moves up the track. And I don't see him touch Ben, but Ben definitely gets sideways. You see that? You're still live, Damon. What do you think?
Yeah. It's hard to see because of the picture that you have. It's kind of small, but it doesn't look like it hits. Yep.
Yeah. So we were just talking about the 2 guys up front leading the race who needed to be leading the race. And unfortunately, they were both involved in this, and we are just watching their cars to see. We are back live.
Ben's in 9th position right now.
Ben's currently locked in the playoffs, so it didn't really matter for some of those other. Crosby was up there with them, but the 2 guys who really, and they're still in the pits. I mean, they've got another 20 seconds or so. They can get some damage repaired, but just, yeah, that's pretty good damage. Judson's front left, same for both of them. Yeah, he's missing his fender. Judson still has left, right. Um, appears that Jonathan Geis probably got the worst of that damage. I mean, that's an arrow bust right there, and of course, um, neither one of those guys could afford to have that happen. Unfortunately, they know they need to push for the points, and so sometimes knowing you need to get that, it's unfortunate they're going to go a lap down here at least, maybe multiple laps. But at the same time, if you're looking from first to 10th, not only is that 9 points you're losing just from the 1 point per position, but first place gets 5 bonus points, and so both of those guys were kind of fighting hard for those 5 bonus points for first place, or should I say four. Uh, Max, Ben, some of these guys out front, really doesn't matter to them where they finish. I mean, every one of these guys wants to race for the win, but it unfortunate event for both of those drivers. And while we're under caution, gonna check on. I believe Judson Curtis has exited the track. Um,
Are we muted?
we are back with you guys live. Unfortunately, we talked about the points earlier. Jonathan Geis, Justin Curtis are up front battling for the lead. We're gonna coming out of four, so we're gonna go live when we go live with the race. But both of those guys were in a position where they almost had to win. Both of them missed the race last week. Thomas Long was the other driver who got knocked back early. Those three guys were in the chase, pace cars off. Chuck Burley is out tonight, so we're gonna have to check the stage points and the points from the finish of this race to see where these guys stack up. But we're getting ready to go green, and I believe we may be green. Damon, you are live as well. What do you? There we go. We're going green. What do you think? Exciting finish, or are these guys going to calm down? All right. I will unmute Damon in case he wants to join us. Max got a pretty good jump there. Again, you don't want to get out too far because I saw Max lift there. I saw the exhaust come out. He's probably lifting just to catch these guys up. Max, Hunter, David White, Honeycutt, Hinton, Perrant. Actually, Perrant is probably the only one who really, A, needs to make sure he finishes the race in a good position, but, B, if he wants to, boy, Max is getting squirrely up front of Hunter Davis. Todd Perrant in the 69 car, currently in position 5. He's the last car. He's 8th in points, and so he needs a really strong finish to. With the guys missing, with the guys having incidents, Todd can possibly lock himself in this week, and we're gonna watch. He's at 88. If he can get out in front of the Max, Tanner's giving a really good push. Those two are teammates, I believe, and Max is. I don't want to say hung out to dry, but he needs to catch Todd Perrant or someone else here if he wants a shot in the final lap. Damon, you are live. If you want to jump in at any point, go for it. We are on the backstretch. We're just about half a lap to the finish, and if it's going to get exciting, this is a point where it's going to get exciting.
Yeah, this is it. This is exciting. Sorry, my Discord was not queuing up.
We see the 5 car getting on the back of Max, giving him a little push. Max got a little squirrely. Brandon's going to look outside. Probably just had a really good run and had nowhere to go. Didn't want to let
This is it, though. Final
Yeah,
lap.
this is it. They're coming in the tri-oval. There's Todd. Todd really needs any extra point he can get at this point. They're wrecking into the turn. Ben Kuhn, 73, 48. Oh, my goodness. What a finish. They are all past the line, so we're I don't even know who to look at this point because it was, boy, this is a crazy finish. Do we want to try to bring guys in, or we just want to, after we watch this replay, close it out?
Yeah.
All right, we are going to move up. There we go. This should be a good feed. Just really strong racing to the end. Oh, yeah, the 73 gets on the outside of the 40 car. 40 car turns up just a little bit. They get into each other and they kind of collect up everybody. But, it's right at the finish line, right? So you're not, at this point, other than Ben Kuhn, and, Ben, it's hard to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exactly. Ben may have actually finished 7th there. He may have crossed sideways across the line. But, Damon, I'll let you handle it. If you know how to pull these guys in, if you want to pull them in, I'll let you do it.
All right, let's see. We got David White, 3rd place, man. Congratulations, man.
Well,
what do you think?
Yeah, it's fun. Glad to be back for once. I hadn't been able to do this for a little while. So, that was a fun time. Really unfortunate for Geist, though. That was, I honestly don't know what that pass was on the bottom below the yellow lines, but, you know what? It's whatever. Nothing we can really worry too much about. But, that was a great time. Glad to be back and always a blast.
It was great to see you back in action, and I'm showing a replay for the fans. Kind of what was happening here. It's hard to get a pretty good angle, of exactly what happened. But yeah, like you said, 2 of the guys, Jonathan Geist, Justin Curtis, were trying to battle there to make their way into the chase, and both of them kind of got knocked out in that same incident.
Yeah, that was crazy. No, the end was fun though. I was trying to get Ben to roll with me. We were gonna fake out. We were hoping Hunter was gonna go up there too and fake him out. And get a good laugh. Maybe go 2 for 2 on I guess both my premier starts the past 2 seasons. But we tried. We tried our hardest to get up there, but really happy for Tanner. Happy for Hunter too. That was fun.
Well, man, congratulations on 3rd place, man, and I hope to see you back here for some more races.
For sure will. Yeah, most definitely. Can't wait for next season too.
Nice.
Yes,
Enjoy
sir.
it. Have a good holiday.
Thanks, guys. Y'all too.
And then here we have 2nd place, Hunter Davis.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Doing pretty good. Just showing a replay of you guys doing your burnouts on YouTube right now as we're chatting with you. Kind of a wild finish there. Take us through. Were you holding your breath and just hoping for a second place, or did you think you had a shot for first?
I mean, I had a shot, man. Me and Tanner were working there together. We were teammates talking it out, trying to shake Max. Max blocked. We were coming there to the turn four, and Max blocked the high run, so we kind of fell back in line. As soon as we hit that quad oval, and I was able to, or the tri oval, and I was able to get a fender in on him. He darted low for the track position to try to clear, but he didn't have enough, and then that allowed Tanner and I to clear. Which once again, congrats to Hampton and Tanner on those podium finishes. But once we were able to clear that inside lane, it's just going to be a drag race. Tanner definitely had the advantage there going into the turns 3 and 4, being there in second. He kind of backed it off and he played it absolutely perfect. Had the run right there behind him, so congrats to him.
Awesome. Well, great
Was this
finish.
a 1, 2, 3 TRN?
It sure was. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That was a great finish, and congrats to TRN. Right now, the replay showing you 4 lining up, just past the start finish, and that was a pretty great night for TRN. I know 2 of the guys aren't in a playoff hunt, but congrats to them for coming back and great finishes.
Man, absolutely. I appreciate y'all putting this on, streaming the broadcast, putting it on for everybody. So that's awesome. Thank you guys.
Then we have first place Tanner Honeycutt, who's been away for a while and comes back here and wins a race, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. Man.
So I'm trying to get the replay of the finish, but walk us through what you saw there that last tenth of a mile.
Well, Hunter being my teammate, obviously, kind of gonna push him to the win, and Max, me, and Hunter had put a pretty big distance on the field, so I told Hunter to try to make a pass on him, knowing Max is not going to have nobody to help him. And once me and Hunter kind of got sailing, I was just going to stay behind him and push him all the way. And of course, my other teammates, David and Ben, come flying up behind us. And at that point, it's 4 teammates all racing for the win. And at that point, it don't really matter who wins. We're just all happy. But I was able to somehow squeeze by Hunter, and I think it's my second Talladega race win, which is pretty awesome. But that was a great race with 1 caution all the way at the end, and great racing, to be honest.
Yeah, no, welcome back, and I know you had some wheel problems, and congrats on the win, and it was fun just showing it again, watching the TRN group out there all doing donuts, lining up at the end for kind of. I'm sure you guys did some photos, and congratulations.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate it. Thank y'all. Shout out DES.
Man, Jeff, you did a great job, man. I can't wait to have some internet back and go back at this, and I can't wait for the holiday and hope that everybody has a good holiday. And thank you, Jeff. Man, what a great race.
Oh yeah, thanks for letting me do it. It's fun. Always learning something new, and I just appreciate showing the feed for these guys. They all deserve it, and love to see it. And if you got any last words, go ahead and say them. Otherwise, I'm going to close us out.
Well, join us tomorrow night. I'll see you there, and hopefully I'll be broadcasting if everything goes right for Next Gen Michigan. And thank you, everybody, and see you.